So in him was life, and life was the light of men. Without 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 life, we are not exist. We are life right now, right? But where the life coming from? Life is coming from the Lord. So every source of life is coming from the Lord himself. Everything around us. Every source of life. Without him, there is no life. But specifically now for men, which mean us, men and women. The Messiah is the light for all of us. Because without the word of God, we are just a bunch of animals who eat each other, rape each other, kill each other. And in a few lines from now, you will see more how you understand God. And the light, which go through the darkness, here there's two meaning actually, or more than one meaning. You know, we live today in the world of darkness. For sure we have electricity, but look around you, open the news. Nothing changed from the time of Jesus until now. We are living in the time of darkness. The only light we have is our faith in the Messiah. Otherwise, everything around us is evil. You cannot keep your door unlocked. You need to watch for security. You need to watch for your children. You need to watch for hackers, bank account. Why? Because earth is evil, full of evil. The only hope, the only medication human being he has right now is the light of Christ, who can conquer the darkness which we have. So when the Messiah have a few disciples, those became like light, who will carry light of Christ to all nations. And that light will grow by us as a church. So this light will conquer, and there's no darkness can comprehend this light. No darkness can kill it. No darkness can stop it. There was a man sent from God whose name is John. Now here, first time for me I was reading the Bible, when I say John, and I'm reading the book of John, so I thought, okay, maybe this is John. He himself is talking about himself, introducing himself. And you might ask yourself, like, why John is even not talking about himself? John, see, in every time, there is a reasoning for things. You know what I mean? Like, imagine your father, he come to your room and introduce to you that I am your father, and now you are 30 years old. Isn't it too late? I mean, I know that you're my father, right? So John is a very well-known disciple. He is very, very, one of the most, let us say, well-known. So he did not need to introduce himself when he speak. So when he is writing the gospel, he is introducing the one who is not present with the people. You know what I mean? If a Christian Prince speaking to you right now, I do not need to write for you about Christian Prince when I am writing for you about what happened in the past, to tell you a history you did not witness, but I did witness. So John is a witness. John is not telling a story from a storyteller. John is a first-hand witness, and actually he was the only one next to the cross when Jesus was on the cross. Somebody saying no sound. Is that true? I think the sound is working. So John is a very special person, and he was the first-hand witness, and obviously he is an extremely wise person. So John now is introducing for us other John. And this John, he have a reason to be there. So there was a man sent from God. So now it's confirmed that this person is not just a man. He is a man sent from God. His name is John. The same came for a witness. So he have instruction from God to witness, to bear witness of the light. And here slowly we will understand which light we are talking about. So there is a man, his name is John, and that is John the Baptist, who came to witness, and he was sent by God, so he have a mission. And the mission is to confirm to the crowd who is the Messiah, as we will see soon. So this person, John the Baptist, he came to witness, he have instruction from the Lord, and he is going to witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. Here you will notice that this light, which is, we will see, is the Messiah, there is a reason for him to be here. Is to believe. You see, he is just not coming just to tell us what is good, what is bad. He is not just coming to tell us, love your enemy, and there's a way, there's a higher, let us say, mission is to believe. Because in Christianity, your belief is your way to be saved. It's not making donation. It's not being kind. You should be kind, right? Because the Bible speaks about you that the good deeds is the fruits of the good tree. Good tree give good fruits. So this is a fruit should come automatically from you because you are a believer. But it's not the fruit really the reason for you to be saved. However, a faith without fruits is a dead faith, as the Bible said. Somebody saying, Christian Prince fan channel saying, how the Bible can be true if it was written after centuries after. Well, actually, first of all, John is a first witness. So how it can be written after centuries? This is a claim, false claim. It's just a pure false claim. Because if John, he was going to write the Bible after centuries, that means he lived for centuries. But John, he is a disciple of Jesus. So how the book will be written, The average of the book of John is written between 60 something after Christ, 60, 70, 80, something like that. So people, they can say, they can say whatever they want, right? And for us, when somebody says the Bible is written in centuries after that, they have to provide the proof, and this is all just their fiction. And this is why you will see, in different places, like you see always when you want to understand the book of John, maybe I should mention that from the beginning. In order to understand better the book of John, you have to get two books next to each other, So you open First John chapter 1. First John chapter 1. And when you do that, you will notice how this book is come to existence, let us say, if we can say the word come to existence. So First John is like you are reading the book of John again, but in the form of a letter. In a form of letter. The one in front of us now is in the form of a book. The other one is in the form of a letter. Let us actually open the verses there, and you will see how and why we are saying it's almost they are reading the same. Look, this is First John. This is First John, and then we go back to John chapter 1. You are reading the same thing again. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. We go to First John. That which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon, and our hands have handled of word of life. And here you see that John, he confirmed that he was a real witness of Jesus. Not only he heard Jesus, but he seen. And here you will see that John is speaking about we seen with our eyes. So he's speaking of himself and the disciple too. Which we have looked upon, and our hands have handled or touched. So when somebody want to say this is written, this is, are you worried about what people will say really? I'm not really worried. And this is what we do here. We refute them, we expose their lies, and we don't let it go. But never expect somebody, he is a disbeliever, to say something nice about your belief. Especially if you have a belief trying to take you away to his belief. Like let's say, whatever his belief is, without mentioning. So always, a believer should not really be worried about what other people say. He should be worried about what is truth in their saying. Right? Did I answer you? There is in the old days, they used to attack a tribe, some nations, and then they kidnap the childrens, and then the childrens, they convince them that they are their childrens. And not only that, like, you are my grandson, and the enemy, who is set on a nation, they killed your father. But in fact, the one who is talking to the child, he killed the father of the child. And the child, he is an infant, he don't remember anything. So he grew up, and he wanna kill and fight the enemy, which is the one who killed his father. But the fact he is sitting in the lap of the killer. This kind of evil, instead of losing their sons to fight the enemy in the future, they use your sons to fight you. And this is way what they do, the enemy of Christ these days. So they try to convert your sons, make them believe that you are the enemy of God. That's why Jesus says, time will come, and people will think by killing you, they are doing favor to God. All right? Now we continue. If there's any other question about those verses? So there was a man sent by God, or from God, whose name was John. And this John, he is coming to witness for a great event is going to happen. He will witness for the light. Not only he will witness for, you see, here you will see John, how he is very, very, powerful in the statement. Until now, he did not say the word of Christ. Did you notice that? People, did you notice that until now, he did not even use the word of Christ? There's no Christ. Until now, there's no Christ. We are talking about the Word, about the beginning, that God is the Word, the light, and the light will be for the man, and the light will not be comprehended or destroyed by the darkness. And there's a man is waiting, he have instruction to witness for the light. Until now we have nothing, we heard nothing except word and light. No Christ yet. So he came to witness for the light. So we might believe in him. Who? The light. So here you see John the Baptist is a very great figure. If you read about him, he was really a powerful person. So if I am recommended by John the Baptist, is like I am certified genuine person. You know what I mean? So he have a great reputation. Actually, I did read a lot about John the Baptist, to the point even religions who have nothing to do with Judaism and Christianity adopt John the Baptist to be a great teacher. So this person, because he is beloved, because he is trustworthy, because people believe him to be very, very, very extremely genuine, a messenger of God, he is going to witness for the light of God. Which means that John the Baptist, he is there to prepare the way. We continue. And then that was the true light, which lighteth every man that come into this world. So John, he insists that there is no other light except this light for us. Word, the Word is God, the light is God, the light of God. And there's one person is witnessing for such a light. He was in the Word, and the Word was made by him. Here you will see John is diving deep into the nature of this light, or this person he was going to talk about. He was in the Word. He came. He was here. He was real. That's why, in John, 1 John, John, he said, we saw him, we heard him, right? And we touched him. So it's not a fiction. See, you cannot really touch light. You can see light. But see light and hearing the light and holding the light is a different story. And all of those is the word of life, which means all life coming from it, and he is the source of all life. This is why it's really important to understand John chapter 1, the gospel, to follow reading, or side by side maybe when you do Bible study, to go to 1 John, because you will find yourself reading exactly the same thing, but here, actually here, in the time of John, there's the agnostic. I don't know if how many of you heard of them, who they are saying, they have a heresy. They are saying that Christ, as long as he's God, so God cannot be, a human. Human is like flesh is evil, material is evil. So in their belief, anything is a material is evil. It's bad. It is sin. Flesh is a sin. So how God he took flesh? So those group of people who they are claiming such a thing, that Christ, his flesh was not real. He appeared. And actually this is why you see some foolish prophets who claim to be a prophet later, they say that it appeared to them to be the Messiah, if you remember. It appeared to be. He's taking this idea from the agnostic. So John here is refuting a cult, not only just explaining Christianity, is refuting a cult who believed that Jesus' flesh was not real, that Jesus the man was not real, that Jesus the God is real, which means his flesh is just an appearance. It's not a flesh of a man like us. For God is holy, so their belief. So when John was writing the letter, he was refuting them, saying, well, we saw him, you weren't there. Those who they are talking, they are coming with this idea, they didn't even meet Jesus. So John is saying, we know what? We are the one who saw him. We are the one who experienced him with our eyes, and we are the one who touched him for real. We hold him. We looked upon him. So who are you to say to us what you are saying? And that what make the disciple message, and especially here John, is very powerful, because he exposed their lies, because they can deceive many. So now which one we will believe? The one who was named by Jesus, and even Jesus, he told him, this is your mother, to Mary, when he was on the cross. So which one we will follow? A person who is a philosopher coming with a new heresy, cult, saying Jesus was, God, yes, but his flesh was not real. Or the one who was a witness, who Jesus chose him in a very favorable way. You see, there is a disciples who they are considered universal disciples. Universal, the word universal is a word Catholic. Now, Catholic does not mean a church Catholic now, because I know some people that will go there. Don't go there, please. Catholic mean universal. So there's disciples who they are universal. Those are the one who sent to the world. So they are the one who carried the message for the world, because they are special with their wisdom. John is one of the universal disciple. Did the Jewish recognize? Obviously, they recognize him. You see that when we speak about the Jewish, we need to remember who is the Jewish, right? The Jewish is the people, or the rabbis, or some rabbis. Jewish are Jewish like us. So if you live in a town, and there is 10,000 people believe you are a messenger of God, and there is 20 don't believe in you, still, we cannot say the whole town believe, don't believe. Jewish is a word, we give it to people, right? But remember that John himself was a Jew. Paul was a Jew. Disciple of Jesus, they are Jews, right? So can we say the Jews did not believe in Jesus? No, we cannot. There's a lot of Jews believe in Jesus. Right? And always the rabbis, they will feel a threat. Like you might see somebody, he claimed to be a Christian, he make videos against me. I mean, what I'm doing, what's wrong I'm doing? You know what I mean? Why? Because there is people who they are fearing they have jealousy. They fear that somebody will take their place. Attention seekers. So they might have a beard, they might call themselves rabbi, but a person who is so decent is a threat. And all of us, we knew that John the Baptist, he paid his life for his decency. So then you ask yourself, what is all the rabbis at that time? How come none of them dare to say to the ruler, how dare you? You know what I mean? So we have a king, he is going to do something horrible. He's going to do something horrible. The city is full of rabbis. You can imagine how many. How come there's only one person is standing for the ruler? Did you ask yourself the question? Only one person. What happened to the rest? Where's the rabbis? Obviously, those are rabbis doing business. If you go to Mark chapter 6, you can read some of the story. So how they are going to love such a person? And that is telling you that they are, businessmen. They are not really rabbis. How come they stood to fight Jesus, but nobody stood to fight the ruler, the king? Because they knew if they do, he will chop their head. Very simple. In the best scenario, he will put them in jail. And they favor to keep their mouth shut. So those rabbis, actually, we see them today. If you are a rich person, even if you are a perverted man, everybody respects you, everybody open the door for you, everybody call you sir. But if you are a poor man, if you do little sin, they will rebuke you and they will make an example of you. Right? When somebody is powerful, they go mute. When somebody, suddenly they are decent. Suddenly they care for washing hands. Suddenly they care for breaking Sabbath. But everything around them was broken. Current warrior, I want you to focus with me, my friend, because I see you are asking questions far away from our topic. I mean, end of time. You mentioned this question. I will answer you, but please don't, just focus with us. Don't talk about the end of time, or end of time is God's decision. Those who speak too much of end of time, I can accept that somebody talking about the end of time just to warn you, so to wake up. But when somebody says to you, it's tomorrow, it's here, it is there, this is a fraud. End of time is by the hand of the Lord, and leave to the Lord what belongs to him. And what people say to you is their own saying. It's not biblical. So we continue here. Always, if you understand, like here, here there is no story as much as there is introduction for a story. It's a wise man, very wise, inspired by the Lord, introduction to the Messiah. So here we have, he come to his own. And here you notice we were talking about that his own, they received him not. So where is the rabbis? How come the rabbis, they could not see? Did you notice that not a single one of those who follow, you know, I mean, the one who recognize the great people like John the Baptist, where is the rabbis? Where, you know, let us say they don't like Jesus. What about John the Baptist? What he did to them? So those rabbis, they are businessmen. And today we have businessmen everywhere. And religion is a business for many. Big business. Buy my CD. You know, if you like to learn more, subscribe so you can get, like you have a privilege of seeing my videos, you know. If you make a donation, etc. All of it obviously is a business. The rabbi at that time, they are businessmen. The rabbi at this time, they are businessmen. And rabbi does not mean just Jews. It can be any religion. It's a big business. Hardly you see somebody, he is a religious person, he live in a, you know, I mean, go and see how Jesus lived, how Paul lived, how John lived. I mean, they have a really, I mean, miserable actually, not only hard life. And how those rabbis live, or bishops, villas, cars, palaces, glory, you know, people kissing their hands, you know, your highness, your whatever, you know, they don't even like to call them by their names. You see, we say John. We say John. We say even the Messiah. There's bishops, you have to go give them a title. You have to show certain frames for them. Otherwise, they might be upset.